Good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick, stockmarketmentor.com, and it's Thursday, March 2nd. Let's look at Caterpillar. Okay, you can see the stock still in a trading range between like $100 and for all intents and purposes 90, but it's really more like 92, and it's essentially slicing right through the 50-day moving average. So here's the top, there's the bottom, there's the 50. Right there. And now the stock's coming up to a pretty good, buying opportunity if you're interested in buying this stock. Now, you may be, if you know what the news is, you're going like, dude, you're really just talking about Caterpillar? What about, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll tell you what about. There was a news report today, and let me show you exactly when it was. Right there, that Caterpillar's offices were being raided by, I think, some of the jackbooted thugs at the IRS. Not really sure. No offense to jackbooted thugs. But anyway, but nobody knows what it's about. There's probably has something to do with taxes, and there were several articles that mentioned that, the company had received a letter back in 2015, subpoena about some things. Essentially, are you guys parking money or using other entities to get out of paying taxes that you should otherwise be paying? Never a good idea. Always enticing to think about, but never a good idea to avoid taxes. So anyway, you can see the kind of move that this thing had. All right, so news like this is essentially disseminated in the market in about, how long did it take? Yep, really quick amount of time, about an hour before all the selling was done, and then the stock has held up since then. So the point is, the market's always right. We could look at this and say, oh my gosh, that's really bad. This thing can fall. This is it. That's all. The uptrend is over. Caterpillar's done. Don't do that. Don't do that. The company's doing fine. I'm not a huge defender of Caterpillar. They make big machines. But the point is just a trading point. You see a huge volume spike like this, and that can be a problem. You see a huge volume spike like this back here, and that was a problem too. It was a puke fest before the stock ultimately ran up 15% or so. So what I'm suggesting is this. If I had to choose between buying or selling Caterpillar, I would buy it in a heartbeat because I can put a stop right down here. If the stock falls below this level, I'm not even waiting for it to get to 90. If it falls below here, then I'm going to go ahead and sell that stock. But if there happens to be a news announcement about what this thing is, and it occurs after market hours, if it's a bad thing, if it's a surprise to the market, the stock is going to gap down. At that point, it's actually time to buy it. It'll be a buying opportunity because what you're seeing with this huge volume is a lot of bad news and potentially even worse news being factored into the price of the stock. So once it is actually known what exactly the investigation's about, exactly what the problem is, when you're saying, oh my gosh, that is horrible, okay, that's the time to buy the stock because you don't have to look at the price. You don't have to look around to know that it's horrible if the stock is really down. Basically, what I'm saying is traders shoot first and ask questions later. When they get the answers to those questions, that's when the stock starts running up again. Okay, members, we're going over some essentially some concepts today on how to spot tops because that's definitely a relevant point now. So I want you to pay attention and maybe even take a notepad to take notes on the video. By the way, one more time, if you're not a member of Stock Market Mentor, we're having a fast track training program on right now with weekly live training webinars during the day. So I want you to be a part of it. Go sign up for a free 30-day trial. Free is not a four-letter word. Free is what your membership costs you.